Okay, so my name's Ian Turfrey. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Technology Transformation Group. And what TTG does is we really help customers and organizations with legacy tech. We believe in legacy tech should be a thing of the past, and that's where it should stay. And it's all about how we now help you on that journey for your continued success. Well, you've probably heard happy employees are happy customers. So cultural transformation is more than just a phrase. It's a commitment to shifting the company's culture so that your employees feel they belong to the organization, they feel empowered, motivated, so they can invest in the long term. But when you start thinking about culture transformation, it really needs to start with that vision of what the future is going to look like. And you really need a leader that can explain what it is. Often comes in a story, but how often do you now need the most simple things involves technology in some shape or form? So, and again, what we then sort of start seeing with the cultural transformation is that technology is often hampering what they do. There's so many workarounds around complex processes, no real KPIs, things have got so unwieldy. So what we then hear is this is then holding employees back. So cultural transformation is all about empowering your workforce, giving them the right tools so they can focus on the customer or service. Well, cultural transformation is all about your people. It's all about your people of what make the difference. However, it's all about a mindset change. It's about being brave to make changes in often difficult and challenging times, especially when we see all the challenges around not-for-profits at the moment, especially when you have COVID and all those other things that are going on. But how many times though do we know that this is the right thing that needs to be done? Okay, it's common sense, but how many times do we find out that maybe the business case falls down, there is no ROI, however the risk of failure continues, staff morale continues to decline, there isn't that investment, there's that part of being brave, and then ultimately you're going to lose the skills and capability that you had in the organization that made it a success. So I think the key thing for not-for-profits is to really make sure that they are continuing to do that investment through challenging times, and the technology doesn't always have to be the most expensive thing. Well, I think the biggest challenge I see with culture transformation is we continually put a square peg in a round hole. We need the best people to support the messaging, the communication and the transformation, the people that really understand what it is that needs to be changed because they understand the customers and they understand the service the best. But we all know that this is the right thing to do. However, we're too busy doing the day job. We're too busy actually focusing on those customers. So we'll just give you someone who doesn't really understand what the requirement is. And it means that the project is going to be a failure. So the most successful projects is you having the right people in place. Other thing that we then tend to find is when you're doing change and transformation, you need additional help and support to actually do those things. And it can't all be done while people are doing their day job. Again, what I find time and time again is you have the same people not only doing their day job, but all of a sudden we expect them to be a project manager, a business analyst, a technical architect, a data architect, doing the change management. All of these changes that we need to do takes a lot of energy, time, and the communication. And it's making sure that you've got the right people and you don't get them to try and do all these multiple roles whilst you're going through these transformation processes. Vision, strategy, and roadmap. You really need to understand what you have today, the good and the bad, and work out where you want to be in the future, and then work out what strategy and projects you need to get there. So there's a couple of examples. We need to improve staff productivity. We need our staff to be able to work anytime, any place, anywhere. How do we connect the front office and the back office so everybody can share and understand all the great work that we're doing for delighting our customers? But we need the tools and the technology to be in place to be able to do those things. So the simple thing could be just by creating an intranet, but everyone can share and collaborate in those things. Similarly, a personalized customer experience, no matter what channel. And again, the other thing is the channel of your customers are going to come to you from a variety of sources, whether it's telephone, you might try and be using chatbots, email. It's making sure they can get the tools and the help that they need that's consistent throughout the organization, and it's making sure you have got the right building blocks in place to be able to deliver those things. So the key thing about moving forward with the times, it's about empowering your teams to go on and do amazing things. As I've said before, a happy workforce, a happy customers. It's about creating that vision and purpose is really powerful in organizations. If you can get the organization behind the transformation, then what used to be really difficult and complex and quite negative, all of this now start becoming a virtuous circle of improvement. The things that you had in the past, oh, we can't do this because of that. Actually, we can do, and you get that can do, and it becomes infectious. And then you start finding the things that you couldn't do in the past can now be done. You then start finding actually the bottom line's looking a bit better now. We are a bit more efficient. And actually what we're now doing is actually we're able to grow our top line by now having improving the revenues that we've done, because we've now got better platforms and better systems in place, which all makes a tremendous difference when we're actually doing some of these transformations. So implementation strategies on when they're doing the transformations, and it all depends on the cultural transformation that's being set. So if we take a couple of examples, so if we said it's a local transformation of an IT, the IT department in an organization, this is all about setting out your operating model of how IT is going to work, in IT, and how it's going to facilitate the services, what needs to be done for the business. However, what I would say is when we're looking at major change transformation, we're talking about company-wide transformations, not local IT. You need a senior board sponsor, someone who believes and supports on what that needs to be done, together with an engaging leader who's going to be the overall person for managing the change. And depending on what the size of this group, you may have an actual board as well that's going to just be a subset of your main board, but it will be a board that we focus purely on the transformation. So what I would say is the different strategies would be, it can be quite local in terms of an IT change, or a major transformation where you'll then have a board, and actually a board empowered and accountable for making the change. And again, it's not just one person that's responsible. It has to be organizationally led, but with influential leaders. Well, my email address is ian.turfrey, that's TURFREY, @thettg.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn, just search for Ian Turfrey.